This is I Know What You Watched Last week, and we are gluttons for punishment. 3 more movies from 2026. Were you blown away?
By what?
The movies of 2026. What a year. Movies just keep getting better, doesn't it? Music just keeps getting better. Football and sport keeps getting better. Everything's just getting better.
I was blown away that these movies were released.
Amazing. Do you recall what we watched? You know, it's 50-50 normally for you, isn't it?
I do.
Let's go.
I do remember we started with a genre favourite of mine, Devil's Mouth.
That shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, your genre favourite isn't about the mouth of the devil.
No.
It's about sharks.
It's a shark movie.
New shark movie given to us by Jeff Bezos. You know, he's an auteur. He knows what the people want when it comes to sharks.
Okay. Then we saw...
You know Jeff Bezos, right?
Yes.
You know, he's got billions of pounds. He must be smart.
Okay, then we saw Whistle. And finally, we saw Return to Silent Hill.
We're going back. We had Silent Hill Revelation, now Return. Now we're returning.
Wait, so this is the third?
This is the third movie. Yes.
Right.
This is 3 movies over the space of, I think, 23 years. The original came out, I think, around 2003 to 2006.
Was it Uwe Boll?
No, same director. The one that directed this one directed the original one. Christoph Gans.
Right.
You love the French. So, I really struggled. This was the hardest week for me to put them in order. Simply because, once again, they all belong in bottom place. So, what did you go with?
For me, it wasn't that difficult, actually. I think there was enough of a distinction. So my third place went to the just completely...
You're wrong.
Completely baffling Return to Silent Hill. Baffled. Second place, unfortunately, went to Devil's Mouth. And Whistle got my gold.
I was struggling so bad about what to put top.
Let's just go with my order
and bottom, that I started looking at things, so I couldn't decide. I started to think to myself, right, what is the shortest running time? Because I'm just going to give it number 1 to the one who put me through the least amount of time of suffering. But then I realised the 2 of them have exactly the same runtime, and also the 2 movies that had the shortest dragged on for me the longest. So that was out. So then I just had to really think about it. And bottom place for me, Return to Silent Hill. Beginning of the week when we started with the shark movie, Devil's Mouth, once again I was like, there's no way this isn't coming third place. Second place for me is Whistle. Top of the pile is Devil's Mouth. So we're going to go in my order. And we both put bottom of the league with far and away the highest budget. And built-in audience.
Not that you could tell.
All this kind of stuff. $23 million. Return to Silent Hill. Once again, Christoph Gans returns to direct. He did the original Silent Hill, which I know you haven't seen. I don't think you've seen it. We haven't watched it together. I know that much.
Then I have not seen it. I have not played the game.
The games are good. The games are rich. Have amazing storytelling.
Oh, really?
Borderline heartbreaking. It's fucking scary. I used to play it with like the volume down because it was like one hell of an experience. This was not. This was absolutely not. So this is supposed to be based on Silent Hill 2. They just called it Return to Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 is a masterpiece of games. Came out in like 2000, 2001. And whether you've played the game or not, you're just going to be confused. There's no cohesion to the story.
Well, this was
Nothing
the
is
thing. I did
good.
ask you after we'd watched it. I was like, well, should I try playing the game? Would that help clear up my confusion? Because I don't understand what the hell was going on in this film. It was also like 3 different stories just shoved together into one with no apparent like connection.
What were the 3 stories to you?
Well, there was like the weird post-apocalyptic situation with like monstery things and lots of ash.
Well, that's going into Silent Hill.
Yeah, then there was like some love story thing going on.
In the game, they're married. James and Mary are married. In this one, they just seem to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then there was that woman who's like calling him all the time.
Maria.
Which I was like, what's this now?
One who looked like a hooker.
What? She looked like a hooker?
Yeah, there's Mary, the woman that's dying. There's Maria, the one who dresses like a hooker. She's got like a
No,
short
someone's
skirt
on
on.
the like calling on the phone, not in person.
A doctor.
Oh, is it a doctor? I thought it was maybe like he was supposed to be some FBI person or something,
No,
and
it's his
that was
doctor.
his. But like, that was its whole. Like the phone calls were minimal, but that seemed to me to be a whole separate storyline. So I don't know what was happening here, and it also seemed to be like we started with that apocalyptic thing, and then we just forgot about the monsters and just went into a romance story.
So really, if you can type the movie in terms of narrative, James, the main lead guy, he gets a letter from his ex-love. He finds a letter from his love, and it's about going back to their special place being Silent Hill. And we get the scene where James is driving. For some reason, James is driving around smoking a doobie in his convertible. Instantly makes you dislike him. He's not doing stuff like this in the game. Actor is very unlikable as James as well. Not sure it's his fault because the script is just abysmal. So when he's driving, he happens to come across, he almost swerves off the road because of the coach, whatever. And he comes to a coach/bus. And his lady meets Mary out there. She's dropped all of her luggage. There's a bit of a luggage incident because she's got to get this bus. But as he's trying to collect her luggage, one of the suitcases falls open. And she just tells the bus to go on ahead. And that seems to be how their love story starts here in Silent Hill. This is pretty much at the beginning of the movie, opening 10 minutes or so. The acting with James and Mary was leaving a lot to be desired. Not good acting. Horrible script. Also, it seems like... Well, they said this was filmed in Bavaria and in Serbia. I don't know what they've done in afterwards with the colour grading because it just looks like CGI. It looks like a green screen. All the backgrounds look like a green screen, the mountain ranges and things like this.
The
And
whole thing was
pair
really
that
annoying.
together with the acting and the dialogue. And this doesn't look like a $23 million dollar movie. It looks like something someone's made in their bedroom at best. And I also found it to be completely... The reason I put this bottom as well was I found it to be anti-filmmaking. I was irritated. I'm not normally irritated by a movie. This film irritated me because it's the one movie of the week it's got such a rich lore and background. You can do so much with it. It also has iconic characters in the franchise, if that's what you want to call it. And they fail miserably at doing anything with it whatsoever. So the CGI, so they sold this film like they sell many films now, saying, oh, we're going to do practical effects for the monsters and stuff like that. They said the same thing for Alien Romulus, but what they've done is, much like the Thing remake, they've covered their practical effects monsters in CGI. So what is the point of having a practical effects guy walking around in a suit when you're just going to douse him in CGI so that you can't tell?
I was going to say nothing looked practical.
No, and the CGI completely took me out of the movie. It's not a film. So if you have James standing around outside a burning building, or if you have him inside a burning building, everything is like it's been made by like a 1997 computer or something like that. It's filmmaking by computer.
But another thing that just added to the fact that this felt like separate movies to me was at the beginning when he's, for me again, inexplicably suddenly in Silent Hill with all the ash and stuff. I mean, I'm like, well, how is he suddenly transplanted to this? I don't understand.
Well, Silent Hill changes. It's a surrealistic place. So that's what the game is. They imagine the game is, let's just say, for instance, 20 hours long. You have to play it for 20 hours to complete it. And it's a surrealistic nightmare which deals with grief and manifestations of this grief. Were you getting that from Silent Hill the movie? No. So when the ash is falling and stuff, and first you get like just the dark ash. Towards the end of the movie, you get the embers falling, almost like flaming. It looks, like I said, like it's been made on some kid's computer. Just how is it possible when you've got all this money behind it?
But I hadn't finished my thought. So the point is, at the beginning, when it's like this ashy place, and you get a lot of the camera shots look like you're in a video game, right? So from the character's perspective, very much like that, exactly like you get when you're playing a game. Which again, I was like, well, isn't the whole point of making a game into a movie to make it a movie rather than just like a game that you can't actually play? But then that just seemed to completely disappear. Did you notice that? We had a lot of the like gameplay style when you see all the monsters and the story was still unclear. And then the more they went into like the romance side, that just disappeared, and I was like, well, where's the continuity in this?
Well, they didn't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So Christoph Gans, when he directed the first one, based on Silent Hill, he changed a couple of things. For instance, there's the character in this called Pyramid Head. He's the guy with the giant thing. Right, so he's like the famous monster from Silent Hill, along with the Armless and stuff like that. Pyramid Head is in the first Silent Hill. He shouldn't be, because Pyramid Head doesn't show up until the second one, because Pyramid Head and the Armless things and that spider baby and whatever else you have in this film are all supposed to be manifestations of James's grief and guilt, because in the game him and Mary are married, and she's got this disease which is disfiguring her, and he still has like sexual desires, things like this, and he feels guilty about having sexual desires when his wife has this like debilitating disease which is disfiguring her slowly, and it's about the physical and emotional collapse of his marriage because his wife is dying. And when you get to the end of the game, Silent Hill 2, and also when you get towards the end of this movie, you see that he's killed his wife in the game. He's also killed his wife in this film. We see him smothering her, don't we?
Right.
Yeah, you remember at the end when he's grown a beard because, he's feeling the pain of that. By the way, the makeup department, whoever's in charge, seemed like they were having a game, like who can put out the worst hairpiece on someone, because the wigs in this were atrocious. That beard at the end that James has, the less said about it, the better. But the whole point is that when
triangle head guy looked dumb as well.
Yeah, well, Pyramid Head has been done no justice. Also, Pyramid Head is all over the game Silent Hill 2. He's in this for about 5 minutes, isn't he? He causes a lot of havoc in the game. He's not really causing any havoc in this. I only remember him killing one person. I started to think to myself, how could you use Pyramid Head in this movie without barely even thinking about it and making it 10 times better? And I came up with ideas thinking about it for 10 seconds. Stuff that you don't even have to do massively. Everyone has forgotten about what the game is about in this. If you're going to base your movie on Silent Hill 2 or anything, actually base it on it. Don't just have characters with the same names and then just do whatever the hell you want with them. The fact is, they could have just copied the script from Silent Hill 2, the game, and it's all there for them. Not only that, there are 3 endings that you can have in the game. So they also had 3 endings to pick from, which all would have been a fantastic ending. But the movie is so shit that just the ending of this doesn't matter, doesn't make sense anyway. It has nothing to do with the game.
Well, I was just, like I said, this film I got to the end of it. We got to the end of it, and I was just so confused. I was like, I don't really understand what the storyline was, if there was one. There was so at some points at the beginning, it seems like he's in this post-apocalyptic thing with like the armless monster things and stuff like that. Then he gets chased around. He meets various versions of what turns out to be Mary.
Well,
right?
See, the one that I call the hooker is Mary in a wig, and she's Maria. So she has that god awful wig on. She's got the short skirt.
Yeah.
And she turns up out of nowhere. She in the game is supposed to be a manifestation of James's sexual desires. She is his idealized, sexualized version of his wife who can't be sexual. Were you getting that at all from this movie? No.
I did get by the end. So the one he meets right at the beginning, and I think the kid are all supposed to be manifestations of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
But it didn't really make any sense. And then we've also got the subplot again, like, I suppose this must have been like his memories and stuff, but then he was getting the phone calls whilst he was in the post-apocalyptic, so I was like, what is going on? But it seems like, so when he was with Mary, he then found out that her dad was like some cult leader.
Yes, see,
and had been drugging her and letting the whole cult sexually have their ways with her since she was a child, and he thinks she's disgusting and leaves her.
Yeah, and also you don't need the cult in this movie. It adds nothing because they don't go anywhere with it.
But and that's why she's dying in this, because the dad's been drugging her.
And remember, you know how James is an artiste, he's a painter.
Right.
And he just so happens to spray blood over his painting, which turns out to be the pyramid head shape. Because it's also, pyramid head is a manifestation of his, internal
his art was
guilt
shit, by the way.
And suffering. Yeah, anytime there's an artist in these low budget horror films, or just cheap cheap, not in budget, just cheap looking and just cheap and nasty because no one cares about it. The artists are always terrible. Get back to the acting in a little bit. Do you recall the shabby fat ginger guy?
No.
No, so James walks around Silent Hill, and just before he meets Laura in the wall, the little girl Laura in the wall,
Oh, right.
there's a bearded ginger guy walking around.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what's going on with his acting. I don't know what's happening. Someone please try to explain how this is possible in a $23 million film directed by Christoph Gans, who seems to be somewhat professional, judging by his past work. Fucking terrible. Yeah, the woman who said keeps giving him phone calls, we see her in the hospital because James wakes up in Brookhaven Hospital and he keeps asking her, where's Mary, where's Mary? And they're telling him, you know Mary is, you know full well that she's dead. And we know, the game players know that he's killed her. He just doesn't know this. So the whole point of him walking through Silent Hill is supposed to be him working through it. So the point of the 3 endings in the game is he can either accept what he did and he leaves Silent Hill with Laura, kind of like saving his soul, saving Laura, and he can move on. Number 2 is he rejects what he's done and he leaves with Maria. And Maria, as she leaves, she starts coughing. You can tell that she's not going to last. That's his idealized, sexualized version of his wife. And the last thing is he totally can't accept it, so he just drives into Lake Toluca and kills himself. Now, also, something else that they could have done in this, which would have been awesome, is Pyramid Head in the game. He is constantly killing Maria, the idealized version of Mary, in front of James during the game through his apartment block. Every time she comes around, they'll talk, they'll this, that, and the other. He gets happy. Also, Pyramid Head comes out and just obliterates her. He does kill her in this, but it's just one time, and it's so lame that it means nothing. And as you said earlier on, you weren't getting at all that this Maria was his sexual desires in his wife, were you? Because
I could tell it was her.
Nothing is explained. Yeah, you can tell it's her. You can tell it's Mary
actress.
because it's just the actress in a fucking wig.
But
she plays like 3 people in this.
But I'm getting... Okay, so as we're talking about it, I guess I'm piecing together slightly what they were trying to do. But then I'm really confused as to... I understand what the women are representing. Although the fact that one of them's a child is a bit weird. Mm-hmm. But what's that ginger bloke doing there?
Maybe
then?
that was going to be their future. Yeah, I don't know who the ginger bloke is or why is it. He looks completely out of place because he's just a slob in a t-shirt, and he looks like a keyboard warrior.
Like if our main guy James is in hospital and this is all playing out in his head as some sort of coping mechanism, then why is that bloke there?
The only guy who comes out of this with any credit is the guy that we cast in Heathen. And he's in a very short role in this. He plays like a down and out, a tramp, a bum, a homeless guy, whatever you want to call him.
They're coming.
And he does a good job. Talking about people that we've cast in our movie, which also in this, once again, people might have heard on here that we spoke to certain producers of a movie called The Crow remake. The producers of that also produced this movie. I'm pretty sure they mentioned that when we had the meeting that they were doing Silent Hill as well as The Crow. And again, I was just... And when we sent off my script Heathen to these people to read, at the same time that they're reading The Crow and Silent Hill, when they rejected it, they came back and said, don't be too disheartened, yada yada yada. We have very specific requirements when it comes to making a film. What are these requirements? Being shit in every single department. Pretty much, yeah. Because what I also did, before I sent the script off, I put a curse on it. So anyone who reads it and rejects it, they will be fucked. Crow lost shit tons of money. Return to Silent Hill has lost money. What's that one with your favourite actor ever, Andrew Garfield? It's not a horror film. It's the one where he's doing the barn dancing.
Faraway Tree.
The Faraway Magic Tree bombed. So far my curse is working. So I'm quite pleased
Andrew
about
Garfield
that.
Is not
So
my favourite, by the
they
way.
turned down Heathen for a maximum of $1 million budget to produce Return Silent Hill and the Crow remake at a combined just production fee of about $75 million. So you've got to double that because you've got to put all the advertisements. So about $150 million they've spent. Lost loads of money when they could have done Heathen, the greatest script in horror of like the past 35 years. Maria, because she is the sexualization of Mary, she does eventually end up kissing James just one time. Then they get into a lift, a free-falling lift, and she's like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, James?" No one knows anything. What is the dialogue? And when they end up in like a portrait room, and when he gets there, James puts his hands over his ears like a child and goes, "You're not real." And that's when Pyramid Head comes up and kills her. And as this story moves along, he runs into Laura again, the little girl who's been holding her doll, because that's scary, isn't it? In horror movies, when you hold a doll, it's scary. And she's like, James, what is Mary's full name? You must remember Mary's full name. And her full name is Mary Angela Laura Crane. I think at that point they're trying to say to him, oh, you're married. But they're not married in this, so it doesn't make any sense. Right?
I thought they were trying to say, oh, Angela and Laura and Maria are all...
Oh, just all the same person,
yeah.
Which they are, yeah, okay.
Because he's taken the names that she already has in her name.
Yeah, but this is done such a ham-fisted way. When she reveals her name, there's then a bit where James goes to like a mattress and one of the girls is being pulled into the mattress. He also gets pulled in, and when he gets down there, there's like this walking limb table of Mary, which in theory is good. You know, there are some things in here that in theory should be good, but because the movie is so crap, it's just there for no reason and it has no effect.
But this again, so this mattress thing was going back to, so you're saying that in the game, she does die, or
Yeah.
but she's ill of some kind, right? And this one, it's obviously all because of the cult poisoning and stuff, and the mattress thing. So she's sat there and she's like, "Oh, they won't stop hurting me." And you just see these like hands on her thighs, and then they pull her in when he tries to save her.
Again, in theory, that's good as well.
But it just
when she's on there.
didn't really work.
No, it doesn't. Nothing lands, does it?
And yeah, I
Absolutely
guess
nothing
it
lands.
like the mattress, what you call the table. For me, it was like a walking mattress flesh thing. Again, I was like, I understand what they're suggesting with it. For once, I understood something in this movie, but like it had no effect.
It's incredibly badly shot. This film, really irritatingly edited, as well, and
no characters that you can sympathise with or feel any emotion.
Once again, I don't really need a character to sympathise. I just want a good story. Completely lacking in this. And all the backgrounds, it just looks like CGI green screen. It's so poor.
Well,
it's
like
horrible.
the ash falling constantly was CGI as well. And I was like, how hard can it be to just get something that looks like ash to fall? It would look so much better.
Yeah, same thing when the armless are walking around and they spit their poison on the floor, their acid. And when all the like the veiny black streaks start going on the floor and stuff, it's all obviously so fake. No one's tried to do anything. So you have to wonder again, where is $23 million gone?
This was it. This is what I was going to say. It felt a lot of the time like we were watching a video game from, late 90s to early noughties, but that you can't play. So it's the worst of everything, because like the graphics in a video game, you put up with them because the game is good, and sometimes the graphics are good, but my point is, in this, like, if you're going to make a movie, I want it to feel real. I don't want to feel like I'm in a game that I can't play. I want you to make me feel like scared and uneasy because of what might be around the corner, not just like, oh, look at that CGI and that CGI and that CGI.
See, the game Silent Hill was written so well, and by the way, the score is amazing, which they don't use the score from Silent Hill 2 in this movie, which is just a big fail. When you play that game, it is all those things that you just said. It's completely immersive, and it's scary, and you are wondering what is around the corner. Same thing with Resident Evil. When I played the first couple of Resident Evil games, you had the same thing there. Which begs the question. So if you have a 20-hour gameplay game, let's just say, for instance, you're not going to be able to put everything in there in 2 hours. So obviously, I understand that a director or writer might have to change certain things here and there to make it work for a movie. But the question now is it even possible to adapt a game into a movie, a serious one? I'm not talking about Mario, because you think about it, Resident Evil has nothing in common with the games. Silent Hill doesn't have much of anything in common with the games. Street Fighter was absolutely terrible. All these other ones, and none of them ever seem to work. It doesn't seem that. It seems like it's two separate things. This is a game. This is a film. This is why this works for a game. This is why this works for a film.
Well, I would argue that, okay, so from what you're saying from the Silent Hill game, there actually is quite a lot of story and storyline, whereas normally I would say a lot of games, it's very much like just little missions at a time, which doesn't really translate into a movie, because you have to have the overarching goal of the character.
But then you can take leeway, say if it's a Super Mario Brothers movie, and just write like a fantastical adventure or something. Like I mentioned with Silent Hill 2, you've already got 3 endings, you've already got a great deep story with good characters and good antagonists.
Well, from what you're saying, this one could have been good, but they've just ruined it completely.
Yeah, completely ruined. I wouldn't recommend anyone watch this because you see, I don't always go by, or barely ever go by what critics say, or what the people say. You have to always check out for yourself. So I was still expecting this despite the incredibly low rankings and just everyone's disdain for it. I thought it was still going to be better somehow than the other two simply because of the $23 million budget and the lore, the backstory of Silent Hill. There's got to be something cool in here. There wasn't. Anything that could have been cool wasn't used correctly. So a complete failure, utter garbage. Stay away from the Return to Silent Hill. Second place, I put Whistle. And once again, just abysmal.
So with Whistle,
this is the one I've got most to say about.
I put this one above the Shark movie because the drawbacks in this one, the major ones, is that there's absolutely...
You're a traitor!
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in this that we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still say of all of them, this had the most techniques and moments and stuff that got me closest to being creeped out.
I wasn't... What? Close to being creeped out? By Whistle? Well, what a compliment that is. So this guy's directed this. Corin Hardy is the director. The writer is Owen Egerton or Egerton. I'll get back to those two in a bit. Whistle, this is like another... I think this one was released in the cinema and made like $5 million, so it's completely flopped. Could well be another Amazon one, I'm not sure. But we're going to go through the way we normally do, which is what happens in the film. And guess what? It's the big game. It's the Stalkers. What a great pervy name that is for a basketball team.
Weird.
Versus the Wolves. And our team, the Wolves, are trailing. Time for a pep talk from your coach. Guess what? The pep talk worked. They're on the comeback trail. Haas, he gets the ball at the buzzer. It's good. They've won the basketball game. Should mention though, there has been a flaming CGI figure streaking on the court. So the referee should have really called a halt to proceedings, shouldn't he? Because there's someone streaking on the court. You're not allowed to do that.
No one can see it except Horse.
Well, he's a bloody hazard. He's a bloody hazard, he is. And Haas, after they've won the game, he's being congratulated. Haas, this is America.
Horse.
He goes to the locker room, taking a shower, sees a few other visions, and then the CGI figure comes in and shoves its arm down his throat, and he goes up in CGI flames. CGI! I love CGI figures killing people in my horror. Now introduced to our main girl, Chris. She's like an alternative goth. Ooh, she's edgy. And she's moved in with her cousin, Rel. Super duper cool Rel. I love Rel. You love Rel, didn't you? And do you know what? Rel, he's got the gift of the gab, ain't he? Because he goes into school. It's the first day for Chris at the new school. They're at the lockers. Dean, part of the basketball team, he's there with his girlfriend, Grace. Rel has a crush on Grace. He's like, hey, Grace, your hair looks really good today. So, he's got the gift of game, ain't he? The girls fall for that. Hey, your hair looks really good today. Right in front of her boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no respect. So,
She's
Dean,
off limits, mate.
Dean, one of the jocks on the football team, you know, he reminds me of the jock guy from Final Destination. Just like, I always win, baby! Woo! Because they always write black jocks the same, don't they, in these kind of movies. He starts having a go at Chris, Krys, because she's ultra alternative, right? That's how you spell her name. And he's like, hey, I heard you were a juvenile junkie and you killed your father. And then she knees him in the bollocks. Yeah, because she's got spunk.
Which everybody loves.
Because she's a goth.
She also looks like she's like 5 foot tall.
She's goth with an
about
attitude.
50 pounds.
She does weigh about 50 pounds, but Rel's like, yeah, that's my cousin, yo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Even Grace likes it, even though her boyfriend's been kneed in the bollocks. She's a fan of it.
Let's not forget the ginger girl who's also with Grace and the jock, who we get an instant thing of, oh well, Chris and her are going to get together.
Ellie, I think is her name.
So obvious.
Yeah, so if it wasn't edgy and alternative enough, Chris is not just a goth in attitude, she's also a lesbian. And, wouldn't you know it, her lesbian love interest is a ginger. She's a redhead. I can't believe that they've got a redhead lesbian in a 2026 horror film.
And Chris
Colour me
listens to vinyls.
tickled pink. Next person's been introduced, teacher Nick Frost. We all know Nick Frost, don't we? He's Simon Pegg's mate, and here he is, being a teacher. The whistle is in class. How did the whistle get to class? I've briefly forgotten.
Oh, that's it. Because Chris gets Horse's old locker.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
And the whistle's in the locker.
Yes, because Horse is dead.
Also, do you not think his family would have gone and cleared out his locker? It's like, oh, our son's dead. Let's just leave all this shit in the locker at school. And then the school's just like, here, Chris, you can have it.
Maybe, well, they're just too traumatised.
Well, surely the school should have cleared it out then before giving it to a new student. I just thought that was very strange.
We just blow over this because this is Whistle.
Yeah.
Right? An important horror movie in the genre. Whistle is now in class. After class, Nick Frost, the teacher, he's online and he types in this Aztec death whistle and he sees it on the auction site that it could be worth up to like $35,000. So before he puts it in perfect working condition, of course, he's got to test it. So he has a little blow.
It cracks the glass, doesn't it? So this is actually the first time that the whistle is blown, but for a split second before the bell rings, Chris was going to blow it as well. And all I'm thinking with these people is like, do you not at least want to wipe it down? Like, you don't know whose mouth's been on that thing and you're just going to stick it into your mouth.
Well, Aztec warriors.
Well, I'm thinking more recently as well, because surely anything from Aztec times is done.
Haas has been blowing it, hasn't he?
Yeah, and who knows where his mouth has been.
Yeah.
So I would at least sanitize that thing before I test it.
We've already been introduced to a world of fantastic characters, right? It's time for one more. Noah, he approaches Chris in the parking lot of the school.
Right.
And he is a bad boy, blade-carrying, smoking Christian. You know, I didn't know that Christians were bad boys. I thought they were all like righteous like Jesus and Russell Brand.
Yeah, he's really painted as the worst you can get because he's got like a Sunday school thing with little kids and he sells them drugs.
Yeah, it's like, maybe you should come to church one day. You seem clean. If you ever want to get a little dirty. Waves a baggie in her face, doesn't she? And then Rel, Chris's cousin, comes out. It's like, you stay away from her. He gets owned. You know, he gets pushed over onto the bonnet of his car and stuff. And in the car, he explains Rel to Chris how bad Christian Noah is. Did you get it? His name's Noah and he's a Christian. One of his customers, a kid, has OD'd on his stash. So he's technically a murderer, is what they're calling him. So he's a bad boy. As we know, Nick Frost has blown his whistle. It's after hours in the school now, and he's wandering the corridor calling out for someone called Charlie. I don't even know who Charlie is.
Maintenance guy.
Oh, okay, it's the maintenance guy who actually comes up behind him then. Because, of course, it's all set up for what? Jump scare. And the jump scare is the maintenance guy. And, yeah, it's a mysterious figure down the corridor who's used as a ploy for a jump scare. The maintenance guy comes behind Nick Frost, and the maintenance guy's like, I know your secret, by the way. He's only smoking fags.
Yeah, but in
Cigarettes.
the school.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to smoke in the school. That's why he's like, I've got your secret, don't worry.
It's more the point of the movie makers and the Hollywood saying smoking cigarettes is bad for you. Because now Nick Frost, he also now gets death by CGI. And when he's dying from CGI, they purposely go to a shot of all his cigarettes falling on the floor. Because if you're a smoker, you're a bad man. Take that, smokers.
Yeah, the death thing that comes for him grabs into his chest and like holds onto his lungs and they start to shrivel and that's how he
really
dies.
Who gives a shit, because it's just another CGI figure. And do you know what, CGI figures in your movie can get fucked up the arse. I don't want to see it ever again. This is an anti-horror film. Now at the same time that Nick Frost is being killed, our main lot, Chris and Rel, let's run through them again. Chris, our main girl, Rel, the cousin. Then you've got Grace and Dean, who are a couple, and Ellie, the single lesbian, but not for long. They're hanging around Grace's hot tub, just dicking around. During this dicking around, Rel says, look what I got. He's got the whistle. Dean dares his girlfriend Grace to blow the whistle. So she does. Gets all a bit intense. The whistle's finished. Rel says, whoa, that was intense. It goes quiet. Dean says, wait. I think I can hear something. something's coming. Then he farts in the hot tub. Everyone's like, ugh! And even his girlfriend Grace is like, oh my god, that's so disgusting.
And then she proceeds to go and sit on his lap and snog him. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but if you just like let out a big cloud of fart, I would be staying well away.
Why are you even saying that? Because you know me.
I'm just
I
saying.
find it fucking disgusting to fart in a hot tub. Oh, let me just blow out my shit particles into this hot water that we're all trying to enjoy. He would be barred from my house instantly. I'll be draining that tub, getting it professionally cleaned. And then after that, I'm using it myself. No one's allowed in my hot tub anymore after that. Dean's farting in a hot tub. If I didn't hate him already, I fucking loathe him now. He's supposed to be funny. Are girls really that desperate that they'll just sit on guys' laps who've just farted?
I mean, she's supposed
Grace
to be
disgusts me.
the hot thing, isn't she? So she could have anyone, not just Rel or this guy.
You know, by the way, Nick Frost has blown the whistle.
Yeah.
Right? Grace has blown the whistle.
Yeah.
The poster of the movie specifically says, don't blow it. That's the tagline. Do you like that tagline? Don't blow it. Don't blow what? The whistle?
Blow it.
Everyone's ignoring it. So I'll tell you what, Grace is going to blow Dean after this, even though he's farting in the hot tub, isn't he?
That moment, though, when Dean gets her to blow it as well, just felt so fake. I was like, why would you be there like, oh my god, I dare you to blow this whistle? As if, like, they think something bad's going to happen. It's so ridiculous.
Well, the writer is spearheading a new direction in horror, isn't he? He's right on the cutting edge, much like the director.
What are you talking about? This couldn't be more just I've seen it before than...
I'm being sarcastic, in case you
No,
didn't catch on to that.
Yeah.
After this fart, everyone else decides to leave. And then we get on the steps of the house, what have I written down here? We're subjected to how to create a mind-numbingly cliche PC love story. And we've got Ellie, the ginger girl, inviting Chris to Harvest Fest. Harvest Fest, how cool is that? Ellie's like, hey, probably the one time we'll get together before we have to, like, you know, grow up and go to work and stuff. Oh, life is hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
life
but she already
is so
works
hard.
in a hospital, so I'm really confused.
That's a good point.
I don't know what age these guys are. I thought they were in high school or something.
They are in high school, so how can you intern?
How's she working in a hospital?
Yeah. Because you intern first, for one thing, and that comes after you've done college, obviously, or during, at least, college. Not high school. Put it down to Mr. Edgerton and his superb cutting-edge writing again. After Elle has given Chris all the butterflies, Elle wanders away, Rel comes, and she's like, she's not straight, is she? Or something along those lines. Is she straight? Rel's like, hard to tell. We can't tell. Yada, yada, yada. It's like, we get it, Hollywood. Lesbians exist. If it wasn't for Hollywood, I wouldn't know that they existed. And now, because Hollywood has realised that lesbians exist, they can just treat them as cack-handedly as they treat everything and everyone else. I mean, thank you, Hollywood. I'm so glad that you were around to tell me this. You know, sometimes there are lesbians. How would I have known?
Well, actually, talking about cack-handed treatment of things, we now have Chris laying nonchalantly on the floor, listening to what turns out to be her dad's vinyls. But I was just thinking, what disrespect. She's just chucked them all over the floor. They're laying on top of each other. She's probably rolling all over them as well. I was like, that's not how you treat vinyls.
They're certainly collecting dust, aren't they?
I was not impressed.
Yeah, I've got a reasonable vinyl collection, and if you ever mistreat them, you know, you get the treatment, didn't you? In the cage, you go.
What an idiot. But anyway, as she's nonchalantly, rolling
about...
about...
Oh, by the way, just before we carry on, we can tell that she's a true alternative goth, because King of the Goths, Nick Cave, is in amongst these scattered vinyls that she's got. Do you get that Chris has listened to Nick Cave?
Well, I did not buy this vinyl thing at all.
Well, she's an alternative goth.
I know that, like, this dialogue nowadays about, like, oh, young people are so cool listening to their vinyls, they're old school and good. But I was like, but you've also chosen to play some of the absolute worst songs in your film.
Do you know, I've said that she was alternative in all this, right?
Yeah.
She's retro. But she's not that retro, because like you say, she's texting.
So we know she's been asked to go to the Harvest Festival by this girl who may or may not be a lesbian.
By Ellie.
And we now see as Chris is trying to come up with her reply. So it's a classic case of...
I've got the replies.
Oh,
I need to say them.
Go on then.
So, like I say, and like we've mentioned before, pet peeve of mine is text messages on screen with Gen Z characters in horror films. So she's sitting there thinking, oh, what can I type back to Elle, my crush, while I listen to my alternative vinyl? First one is, thanks for the invite. I'll have to pass. Stop. No.
Delete.
Got to celebrate Harvest. Count me in. No. Do you know what? These are two very ungoth replies, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is not a goth. A goth reply should be like, whatevs.
Yeah.
Whatever. Huh? You know, one word. Like that.
That one, like, gotta celebrate the harvest
Gotta
thing.
celebrate Harvest.
I was like, no, this is like something from Mean Girls with like Regina George saying it. This is not...
That's an insult to even Mean Girls.
This is not what she should be doing with her black hair and her like nose piercing thing on the floor listening to her old school vinyl.
You know, she's been kicking people in the bollocks,
gotta
hasn't she?
celebrate the harvest.
Yeah.
Count me out.
And then, you know, she forgets completely that she's a goth who's dead inside and completely goes haywire and spills her guts now in text form. So we've had those two kind of casual 2-sentence, 1-sentence replies. Now it's this. She's up and about now, walking around, pacing the room. Truth is, I'm scared to go anywhere. Scared I'll fuck up my life again. But I really want to get to know you, even if you're straight. I think your smile is the best thing I've seen this year. Ooh, kudos to the writer. The writer and the director, you can tell, even though they're in the movie business, they're struggling to get laid. You know, pussy is repelled by these guys.
Dries up.
They are pussy repellents.
So I also, obviously with this,
even if you're straight,
you can always tell when you're excited because your voice gets louder and louder. But yeah, this text as well. Clearly, the first two that she writes, she was actually considering sending, whereas this one is supposed to be her just typing out her inner monologue that's never supposed to be sent. But again, sure, when you're not sure what to type and like it's romantic and stuff, maybe you sit there and you think like, oh, blah blah blah. But I would never sit there and type out blah 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 blah, even if you're straight, blah 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 blah.
Even if you're straight.
What the hell are you doing?
Do you know, she might be a goth and alternative and dead inside, but at least she's inclusive, because even if you are straight and white, she'll still give you the time. Anyway, she's distracted by this text message. She sees some CGI in the trees outside, and as she's looking at this CGI, Rel busts into his room, and then she's accidentally sent the heart-spilling text, and it's time to freak out. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because Elle has texted her back, and what she texts back is something like, oh, smiles on the house, my dad is a dentist, because obviously the writer has written that Chris writes, your smile is the best thing I've seen this year. What dullard writing that is.
Can I also just mention the fact that she's literally spilt everything? She's like, I'm scared of everything because I might fuck it all up again. And she's like, smells free.
Yeah.
That's all she replies.
What a dick reply.
What?
And
let me just ignore the rest of it.
They're thinking to themselves, Rel also rams home, yeah, that's not a good message you sent. You know, he's just poking her. They're thinking about what can we reply, but the circles coming up on the screen showing that Elle is typing another message, and it says, see you tomorrow, ? And for some reason, Gen Z don't seem to be able to process it. It's like, oh my god, ? see you tomorrow. What do I say? What does that mean? And Rel's like, let's just be chill. Let's be chill. So Chris is like, okay, I can be chill. She types out,
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And Rel's like, no, give me the phone. I said chill, not Kardashian.
I mean, if you're lucky...
Not Kardashian.
Is the most gothy thing that she's written so far, but Rel's not
Rel decides to write, see you then. He hands Chris the phone. He says, boom. Looks like somebody's going to Harvest Fest. Oh!
So we've got one
boom!
text Whoa. We've got one text where she lays out her entire heart.
Harvest Fest.
And then she's like, see you then.
Well, yeah, she's already fucked it, hasn't she?
Well, Elle seems to like it.
And she's trying to bring it back. Does Elle like it? She's been very brief in her replies. You know, when you do send someone a long reply and they talk about like, huh, one word, then it's quite embarrassing, isn't it?
Maybe we should put like a smiley face.
I don't do
like,
text
am I going to
messages,
see
but-
you? Am I
Yeah,
gonna see you? She
smiley
obviously
face.
liked
Smiley
it.
face, screw your smiley face. Okay? I've just laid my soul bare by accident. You should recognise this. I've also noticed during this scene that Chris is wearing a Rancid t-shirt because, you know, she's authentic. She listens to Rancid punk. Yeah. There's just a bit now that doesn't have much to do with the story. A little bit to do with the story about the character, I guess. Dean, the jock, he's driving home drunk. And when him and his mate get onto the front lawn, it's like day one at acting class. You're drunk, go. Shockingly bad.
I don't recall this moment.
Lucky for you. So Grace is now doing her homework in the hot tub, the farted in hot tub. And her homework is about the whistle. She's writing about the whistle, but then there's noises. Noises, so she gets out of the tub, walks around, and CGI touches her face. Once again, I told you, we're on the cutting edge of horror. Mr. Egerton and the director are spearheading a new direction for horror. Where are they going to take it? Because this is so compelling. Then it just turns out her little brother's behind her. Nick Frost is dead, so there's an assembly now for the kids to commemorate him. And Ellie sees some CGI jerky face sitting in front of her, like...
It looks so stupid.
Because that's scary, isn't it? Jolting bodies and stuff like that, and suffocation sounds.
I did not enjoy Ellie.
Once they leave the assembly, Ellie is driving Chris somewhere. And when they're driving, Ellie notices Chris's sweet tats, which are essentially, might as well be a couple of stick men and a pot leaf.
Why do you hide them? They're so beautiful.
Are they? This is true Gen Z tattoo art, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Utter
awful.
garbage. It's like they've drawn it on themselves. And yeah, to say, oh my god, why do you hide them? They're beautiful. No, it's good you hide them because they're fucking embarrassing. Stickmen and a pot leaf. And then Ellie's like, I always wanted to get a tattoo, but my mom wouldn't let me. So I want to know, how do you decide what you're going to get? And then Chris remembers she's a goth. And she's like, you think about what you love, and then you let it scar you forever. Ooh, edgy! The edge is back. The cutting edge. This is pioneering stuff, isn't it? You know, we're back on the goth track at least. You know, no more, ooh, Harvest Fest, I'd love to go. It's, find what you love and then it scar you. Ooh. So they arrive at this house, and this house happens to be inhabited by a cancer sufferer, but I've just written that she is a mysterious gypsy woman.
Oh, it's Horse's house.
Who has knowledge. This was Horse's house?
Yes.
I had no idea.
They're going to return the whistle to Horse's family.
Well, no wonder Horse has got in trouble, because his gypsy mum has been travelling the world, exploring all cultures and collecting items from around the world. And she says things like, memento mori. And
Might as well just say Carpe Diem.
honestly,
honestly.
Carpe Diem, on her travels, she's collected all these artifacts. So Kyle brings out the whistle and she's like, is this part of your collection? I found it. And Haas's gypsy mum turns and goes, you didn't find it. It found you. Because we're on the cutting edge of horror writing here. Thank you, Mr. Edgerton.
Just
for
like
this
it found my
unbelievable script.
Yeah, she's really useless.
Oh no, they didn't.
She seems to know something about the whistle, but she's just refusing to really say anything helpful, isn't she?
No, she does go into a little bit here. She's like, half a lifetime to go at the market store in Guatemala.
It's always Guatemala.
They took my daughter, and now it's going to take other people. That's pretty much it summed up, and they sum it up like that. And Chris or Elle asks her what it is, and she goes, it's a treasure from plundered people. Plundered people? What are they?
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never heard the term plundered people. I know what it is to plunder. I know it is to plunder a continent, but plundered people. This is edgy. You know, ooh, a plundered people. This is lefty rhetoric, is it? Give us reparations. Ooh, empire. You know, the Aztecs are the fucking empire, and it was brutal. Why don't you mention that?
Well, also, it's
fucking hate. I hate this writer and I hate this director. I hate the director so much that his surname is going into heathen. You know what that means. No one else will. This is the guy that directed the CGI suckfest The Nun. He's a shit stain on horror. A complete shit stain.
I mean, it's all a bit rich from her being like, oh, it's from a plundered people, and she's literally
She's plundered it!
She's literally just told us she's been all around the world collecting all sorts of items.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'll
but then she's like,
this.
oh, that was from a plundered people.
That was from a plundered people. I guess that does make sense in lefty rhetoric because they're all just fucking morons, aren't they? They don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not conservative. I'll go in just as hard on them. But recently, and Hollywood is just full of lefty morons. Or people who LARP as lefty morons just so that they can get work.
Just morons.
Let's face it, yeah. Just morons! Yeah. On this whistle, there are also some markings, right? So...
which they AI translated.
Yeah. One of the girls, Elle or Chris, says, we looked up what it says, and we believe it says, summon the dead? No, says the gypsy. Because, you know, a gypsy trumps a goth when it comes to occult knowledge. That should be something that is known. And what it actually says is summon your death. So if you blow the whistle, you're summoning your death. I feel like they're really ripping off Final Destination here.
Exactly.
Aren't they? They really are. And then the gypsy goes into some talk. She's like, the day you are born, so is your death. Says that. And then she talks about someone called Enchoka. Enchoka guides your death and comes quicker if you blow the whistle. If you hear the screams. So, they tried to give the whistle back to Gypsy Lady, but she's like, keep it. It was never mine to give. And then Chris is like, but what if I don't want to die? And the Gypsy says, then you should never have been born.
It's a bit heartless.
Ooh, wisdom speak. How old is Mr. Edgerton? He looks like he's about 49. This is like it's written by a 13-year-old. Ellie and Chris, now they've got the info from the gypsy. They need to go and warn the others at where? Harvest Fest! Woo! Are they finally going to les off? Let's hope so. Because Harvest Place is the place to les off.
And is Rel going to get the girl?
Is Rel going to get the girl? I asked you at the beginning of the movie. You said yay. Right. Grace... she is the first person we see at Harvest Fest when Rel is walking in dressed as his favourite comic book character, Revenger. Which again is something the writer has made up, I think. What a great name. Ooh, what do superheroes do? Oh yeah, they get revenge. Ooh, Revenger. This guy is... He's putting out all of his nerdiness and insecurities and lack of success with women into his characters.
No,
the director is doing the same through Chris, because Chris is wearing the Rancid t-shirt and all this, right? I've looked at some photographs of the director. Let me get his name up again so everyone can be in no doubt right. Corin Hardy. You know, he's an embarrassment to the English. You know, this is an English director. He's done The Nun, the CGI suckfest. Here he is with the whistle, right? He's in photos. Let's get one up here. Ooh, edgy! Look, he's put a bandana on his arm. He would have to have thought to himself, oh, what can I dress up in before I leave the house to let everyone know that I'm edgy? Oh yeah, a titfer and a bandana on my arm and a Misfits badge and an Iron Maiden badge. This guy previously has been directing videos by the likes of Ollie Murs. He has no integrity. If you're into Iron Maiden, why would you be directing fucking Ollie Murs videos? And this is what we're getting here. This is an Ollie Murs type horror film. Corin Hardy's a shit stain on horror. An absolute shit. And look at these other photos of him. Look, here he is in a hat because he's an artiste. Oh, here he is in a hat in a field looking off into the distance because he's an artiste. Look at him. He has got no pussy in his life ever. And even though he's directed a movie which made $300 million worldwide, he still can't get any pussy. Look at the state of him. He is a pussy.
Well, whilst the real life photos of the director are what annoyed
Ollie
you,
Murs is edgy, isn't he?
what annoyed me was the fact that why is it always the main like hot chick? She just always dresses up as the devil for Halloween.
Well, because
Every time.
hot chicks in real life have no imagination or brains, so they got to go as the most obvious one in like a slutty nurse or whatever.
Or a cat.
Yeah, certainly. As I mentioned, we're at Harvest Fest now. Rel's there as the Revenger. He's just seen Grace buying drugs from the bad boy, knife-wielding, smoking Christian Noah. So Rel walks up to her and is like, "You don't need that garbage." She's like, "Relax, it's just weed." And he says, "How about you put down that rope-a-dope and come with me? I'll win you a teddy bear. I'm a sure shot." And Grace is like, "You always have been." So he's like, "So why don't you give me a shot? Otherwise, Shazam, I'm gone." Cool!
His costume's given him a lot of confidence,
I think
hasn't
the
it?
writer has outed himself. This is how he's been approaching women throughout his life. It's no wonder he's still a virgin at 49. Because Rel, he's going to remain a virgin for the rest of his life. He's acting like this, isn't he?
It was one of those situations where he's clearly a nerd and wearing this costume of Revenger has given him this weird confidence.
Why have you always got to be such a loser if you're a nerd? Rel's a complete twat, isn't he? Because at this point, I'm like, she's already turned you down. You see her sit on the lap of a boyfriend who's farting in a hot tub, and you're still just oozing out for her. She lets him down gently. She's like, she says that typical slut thing, what slut girls do in school, like, who already have boyfriends. "Oh, you're too good for me," which means you can't rut me like a pig like I need to be because you're too much of a nerd. So he's been let down. She walks back into the arms of Farty Pants, her boyfriend Dean, and she like goes, "Oh, I'm going to go into the haunted maze now, and I'm going to ring the bell because I'm going to win." As she walks off, Dean, Grace's boyfriend, spots Rel and he's like, "Hey, if you're lucky, I'll let you watch." "And what are you, some kind of like dorky Batman?" He's like, "No, I'm the Revenger." I'm surprised he hasn't got any pussy. Do you have anything to add?
No, I'm still in shock.
From what?
Just your crassness.
Crass?
Yes.
YouTube doesn't like crass. It's going to block us. Noah's here. He's at Harvest Fest. He once again approaches Chris. Starts saying some stuff that Eddie doesn't like. So I think Eddie kicks him in the shin. And he goes down. Must have been a hard kick in the shin from
I
her.
thought it was the bollocks.
The reason either way, the reason she kicks him is because he calls her a dyke. Ooh, edgy. This is just all edge, isn't it? And then Chris, she gets Noah's blade and sticks it up his nose and just gives him a quick. Then they run away, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're so cool."
This reminds me of like all those, you get these groups of youngsters on like the bus or in a cinema, and because they're in a group, they all think they need to show off for the others. So it's like, who can be the most idiotic of all of us?
Well, I do. I've got no qualms. I just slap teenagers in the face.
Do you? I've
Yeah,
never seen you do it.
Yeah, don't do it around you because that would be a bad example to you. You can't be going around slapping people. I can. I've got the authority. Right? That's what my dad would do when I was a kid, if I was like, just give me a clump around the back of the head.
Yeah, but that's your dad. You
You
can't just
need-
go to random kids on a
you
bus and
need
slap them for being idiots.
To clump kids around the back of the head. Because their parents clearly aren't. Right. There's still 45 minutes to go in this film. I kept pausing. I was like, "Don't worry, Karen. There's still loads of time to go in this." I thought by the time we get to Harvest Fest, can we just end this thing? Why is this an hour and 40 minutes? Because your movie is just slop. It's just absolute shit. It's just another, if you want to call it Marvel-fied horror film. This isn't a horror film. Is this for young teens? Is this for adults? Who's it for? It's just shit. So there's still 45 minutes to go. I can't really take much more of it, right? So now, Grace, Dean's jock friend who was drunk with him, they're now all in the haunted maze. Grace off by herself, and guess what? CGI comes and gets her. It's a CGI hag, and she's stalked for ages. Eventually, this hag puts its finger down her mouth, and she starts to age. Grace starts to age quite a lot. As she runs away, she manages to get into the middle of the maze, and the hag turns up, and CGI kisses her, a bit like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst when Spider-Man's upside down and she lifts up his mask and comes and kisses him. They've taken something from Spider-Man, which is also, I said, Marvel-fied movie, and this hag seems to drain all of the life out of Grace, and the other kids, they come around and they find her. After finding her, they end up in the basketball school, and it's bathed in red because this is intense. And you've got Grace's boyfriend Dean just like pacing, going, "That was not Grace. That wasn't Grace." And then because Chris and Elle have recently got the gypsy knowledge, they're like, "No, it was how she was supposed to die." He's like, "What do you mean supposed to?"
She's 18. Yeah.
Good stuff. Great stuff, right? You can see why this has met the requirements for Hollywood producers to go into production, can't you? It was great writing.
I was like, these guys have watched, Final Destination.
It's just banal and hackneyed.
And It Follows. And they've just kind of been like, right, how can we rip these two movies off?
No, talking about slapping people, I would slap Corin Hardy in his bitch face if I ever came across him for being a shit stain on the horror genre, and there's many of them. Owen Edgerton as well. Also, I saw a photo of him palling around with Edgar Wright, who makes just sickening movies, like the remake of The Running Man. Ooh, what fucking loser. Anyway, I failed to mention, before they find Grace in the middle of the maze with all of her life sucked out of her, the two girls, Chris and Elle, they come and get Rel from the shooting range, and he's won a big teddy bear. So as he's running back into the maze, after just being shut down by Grace another time, he's like, "What? It's for Grace." So then when they're in the basketball court and Dean's going crazy because he doesn't believe it was Grace, all of a sudden there's a blame game going on, isn't there? And Rel's like, "You dared her to blow the whistle before you farted in the hot tub. It's your fault she's dead." So then Dean, the jock, he pushes Rel to the ground and lays down the pussy rules. He's like, "Little nerds like you will never, ever get a piece." This sinks into Rel. So he grabs his teddy bear and runs off like Sydney from Scary Movie with his teddy bear in his hands. At this point, I'm like, just fucking die, Rel, you fucking pussy.
For me, it wasn't like
Rel and Chris together are making up the writer and director of this film.
For me, it wasn't being like, "Oh, he's a pussy." It was more the fact that he keeps hitting on a girl who's in a relationship, which
so
I
it makes him a dick as well, doesn't it? It makes him a complete cock. See,
it's not even like Dean is abusing her or seems like a bad boyfriend. They're just a regular couple, and yet Rel still seems to think that he's got every right to constantly be like, "Go out with me, go out with me, go out with me." I'm like, dude, she's got a boyfriend.
But to be fair, Grace isn't telling him no straight off, is she? She's like laughing at stuff that he does and things like this. So she's playing the game. But this is what they do. So I told you this was lefty rhetoric, this film. Ooh, a plundered people and stuff. This is what lefties do. They'll pretend to be uber nice and stuff like this, but because they can never ever get pussy, they'll just be like, "Oh my god, I really fancy that girl, so I'm going to tell her she's got nice hair." It's never going to get you anywhere, mate. That's why you've got to make $330 million to even get a sniff of it.
Johnny, how many times have you said the word pussy in this review?
Not enough. I'm sick of pussy filmmaking. Here's a nice little bit for you though now.
Oh yeah, I
because
know where you're going.
You know, Dean doesn't believe everything that's going on, and Rel's running away with his teddy bear.
Yeah.
As he's coolly walking out of the basketball court, he says to Chris and Elle, "Good luck playing Scooby-Doo." You love Scooby-Doo. This is for you. Did you like it?
What, the one mention of Scooby-Doo? No.
Got to ask a question now. When every single actor's character is one-dimensional, so why do they all struggle with it so badly? Because you've only got to deliver one thing. I'm the jock, I'm the nerd, I'm the goth, I'm the ginger lesbian, I'm the hardcore Christian. Why are they all sucking so hard at what they do? Dean, for a lot of the time, looks like he's in his first day of drama school, like I said, when he's trying to act drunk. He's like he's never had a sip of beer in his life. He doesn't know how alcohol affects you. Also, what is going on with the styling department? Because Chris, the goth, what the fuck have they done with her hair? Two times in this film.
Blech. Yeah, it looks terrible. Awful. At least Elle's a lipstick lesbian.
The thing is that they should never work again. That these people are blocking the paths of talented actors somewhere, just like the director and the writer are blocking the paths of talented directors and writers out there somewhere. All these people are shit. That's why they're constantly like, oh, don't criticize. Let's all spread love, 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 because they know deep down that they are shit. Hollywood is shit. Is there a good actor left in Hollywood? Who are the lauded actors in Hollywood? I don't know. Kristen Stewart, she's about the dumbest piece of shit you can find on this earth. And she's revealed that herself in interviews. Oh my God, I only realized that I could shut out the light in my house by putting down the blinds. Who knew? She said that in a fucking interview.
Well, what I find really annoying is the fact that, as you said, these are all really one-dimensional characters, which sucks in itself. But
because the writer hasn't got it in him, neither is the director.
But what you're saying about like why these people cast is still because they have like the look for that character. But how non-lefty is that to be like, oh, goths look like this, jocks look like this?
Yeah, because they're all moronic though, aren't they?
It's like, oh, if you like rock music or horror movies, you must look like this. It's like, well, yeah, some people do look like that, but it doesn't mean that everyone who likes it has to look the same. But they always do this in movies. It's like the instant look has to be exactly what their character is. There can be no, oh, let's find out more about this person. Mm-mm.
I mean, I love and listen to Baron von Tollbooth and the Chrome Nun and Slipknot, as well as, you know, trying to think of something
Belinda Carlisle.
Belinda Carlisle, there you go. Yeah, Belinda Carlisle. Madonna. I'll even listen to Michael Bolton's Cock Rock album. Now that's
Bruce Willis.
That's depth. Yeah, Bruce Willis, absolutely. I get the feeling that because of the one-dimensional characters and everyone's like that much like Dean the Farter, just the writer and director are just sitting there like sniffing each other's farts and fingering each other's pussies, aren't they? Is that what you're getting? 'Cause that's what I was getting.
I'm just getting another tally on the pussy mark.
The writer and director have pussies. They have no cojones. I'm not talking like in a trans way either. I've mentioned the director wearing his Rancid badge or whatever, his Misfits badge. I've also seen him wearing a Pazuzu t-shirt. So you're standing around wearing a Pazuzu t-shirt from arguably the greatest horror movie of all time and then delivering this. If William Friedkin was alive, he would have no qualms telling this director to his face, your movie's a piece of shit, mate, and you're a cunt. He would say that verbatim. So why is he wearing a Pazuzu t-shirt? He would hate you. He would hate your guts.
I think it's a shame that it's literally everything about this is something you've seen before. And how can you ever
just
go
like
around being like, oh, I've made a piece of art when you've literally just ripped it
Fingering
off.
each other's pussies, even the writer. Sniffing each other's farts. Licking each other's sphincters. That's what they're getting down to here. Let's move on to the story. Rel, if he wasn't enough of a pussy already, he's now sitting on the roof in the rain holding his teddy bear. Meanwhile, while he's outside, this means that Chris and Elle can get deeper into their relationship, and it's a bit of a confessional, isn't it? I OD'd once. Ooh, edgy! Right on the edge now, aren't we? She OD'd once, even though she's 16, and her ODing meant that her dad had to drive her to the hospital, and when they were driving to the hospital, they got into an accident, and her dad died. So of course she's a goth, so she blames herself for her dad's death, and it should have been me. This turns on Ellie. She goes in for the kiss. Chris is surprised by this. She's like, I just told you how fucked up I am. And Elle's like, we're all fucked up inside. Just that we don't always know it. And then they're not just kissing, they're on top of each other, so you know they're going to go in for some clam licking action, most likely.
That's more crassness.
You know that they're taking it further.
You don't need to say it.
Because lesbians have sex too. Hollywood have taught me that through this film. Sometimes there are lesbians, sometimes they'll have sex. What is weird though is they'll put in loads of gratuitous, you know, sex scenes of straight people doing it. Why is there no les off in this movie then? I don't want to see the two les off, don't get me wrong. Disgusting. Gross. They're too young. It's like watching 14-year-olds and Chucky make out again. Just don't want to see it. During the confessional, you know, Chris also, she remembers for a second that she is a goth again. She asked a very goth question. Have you ever seen somebody die? And I was like, yeah, on shift. What do you mean on shift? Like you were saying, how has she got a job in a hospital at 17 years old? Being around death the whole time. Oh, and I'm surprised you haven't jumped in at me during this confessional when she's like, "Oh, I OD'd and you've got it all together, Elle, and I'm just chrysanthemum." You loved that, didn't you?
Disgusting.
Do you want to go through a little bit of the chrysanthemum history?
Well, I don't know what history you're referring to
When she's
specifically,
doing her
but
homework.
No, it's when she's at work at the hospital, Elle. She's got some, like, form which looks like it's been filled out as well, so something you should be filing away, but instead she's just
Unprofessional.
doodled, drawn this flower and written chrysanthemum.
On someone's medical records?
Yeah.
Fucking
That's what it looked like to me.
Sack her.
It's just
Is
like
she
the
a
records all over the floor all
DEI
over
hire
again.
for being a ginger les?
I just don't get it. I'm like, oh, this is the last time we can go to Harvest Fest before we all, like, grow up and become adults. Mate, you're working in a fucking hospital.
Yeah. Talking of hospital, we now arrive at the hospital with Chris and Elle, and later on Rel, and the gypsy woman is in hospital. And, you know, like I say, Chris and Ellie have turned up after licking each other's clams. They're here now. I hope they showered. And they ask Gypsy Lady what the whistle wants. And she starts waffling on about the Olmecs. Now, this is supposed to be an Aztec death whistle. Whistle. It's a whistle. You know, the Olmecs were I'm no history buff, but I know that the Olmecs were at least 1,000 years before, you know, the Mayans. Mayan death whistle. Aztec death whistle. What have you.
Right.
So why is she now mentioning the Olmecs? Because the writer doesn't know, that's why. And he's too stupid to go back and look for himself, right? So they start saying, like, just banal things like, we need to stop it. Things of this nature. And she's like, death will not stop. Because she's a gypsy, isn't she? But there is a way to change its course. Oh, I was wondering when something was going to be mentioned, because obviously something has to happen so that we can actually stop this thing. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that there's a way that you can stop it. And what you can do is, the gypsy informs us, you can give your death someone else's life. And the
No, we're talking about whistle here. We're not talking about Final
Final
Destination.
Destination, yeah, was I confused for a second there?
I think so.
Yeah, because that
Oh, no,
is-
wait, you're right. This
yeah.
does happen in Whistle as well. Oh, right.
Yeah, so for Final
okay.
Destination rules,
Cool.
and Whistle just sucks ass.
Right.
Right, so when death is near, what you can do is, if you're a cursed one, you can just splatter some of your own blood on someone next to you and be like, and then the death whistle will get them instead.
Oh, it's that one.
Oh, so that's how you get rid of it. And she's like, mark another with your blood and you will be spared. Death is not a choice. It's inevitable. But living is up to you. Gypsy wisdom.
How does she know all this stuff anyway?
Gypsy wisdom. She's gone around the world and knows about
you
cultures
keep saying
from
gypsy,
a plundered
but I wasn't
people.
getting gypsy from this woman.
No, she's not a gypsy. She's a cancer sufferer, but she is your typical gypsy character who's been around the world, taking all the artifacts from plundered people and learning about religions and everything else. And yes, she is a cancer sufferer. That's why she's wearing the bandana, because she's bald. But as we all know, gypsies in movies wear bandanas around their head, don't they? So she's just a replacement gypsy. She is your typical gypsy. Dean's hearing noises again. Just kill him. Can we just kill him instead of... Why have we got to show him multiple times in his bedroom hearing noises and stuff? Just show him hearing noises one time and get on with the scene and kill him. Right? Rel now goes to Noah's church with a gun. He's armed. Because he's gonna do the thing that he's heard from the gypsy woman. Just put some blood on him and the curse will get him instead of me. So he stands him up, but he fucks it up, doesn't he?
Well, this is really stupid. I don't understand why he was doing this, because we know that, so the death thing has to be in the vicinity. You put the blood on the other person and death will get that person instead of you. But Rel knows that he's going to die in the steel mill where he works. Again, a 17-year-old in a steel mill, is that really a good idea? But anyway, and
17-year-old in a hospital doodling on patients' charts.
None of these
Are we supposed to like Gen Z with this behaviour?
I thought it was really hard to get a job anyway, so
why is everyone employed?
But anyway, so he decides
Lazy
I
gits.
need to bring this priest guy to the steel mill because that's where I'm gonna die. So that's what he does.
Noah.
Yeah, Noah. And he's like tied him up and stuff. Then the two chicks turn up, the lesbians, and they're like, "Oh no, don't do this, Rel. Don't do this, Rel." But I was like, "What are you talking about? This is a drug dealing fake Christian who's already responsible for deaths, and this is your cousin, Rel, who you're supposed to love, and you're still just like, oh, no. You go ahead and die. Don't smear this guy with blood. I was like, I would have definitely let them just get on with it.
It's the writer and director trying to write Chris and Elle as good people when they're just fucking stupid people. Like you say, they're running in, stopping Rel, doing what should be done. And when Rel pulls out of it and listens to the moronic lesbians, it just makes me hate him even more. It's like, you're even bigger pussy than I thought.
But it's like
I just want him to die.
No, it is like you said. That this is supposed to be like, oh no, it's morally completely wrong to rub your blood on this murderer when you're completely decent and you're about to be just annihilated by this death thing.
It's more lefty rhetoric, isn't it? Hidden, let's just release rapists and paedophiles back onto the streets and let them roam. Don't kill bad people. Just let them be bad to everyone else and ruin innocent people's lives.
Because, the thing is, in Final Destination, where it's the exact same concept, you can take someone else's years as your own, they do it a bit more, ambiguously or something in terms of what's right, what's wrong and all this. Whereas in this one, it's so clearly get rid of the kiddie-killing priest guy. But no, that will be wrong. So let's just stand back and watch you get decimated.
Kind of skipped over that Dean has been killed at this point. So because he's a drink driver... He gets got in his bedroom by unseen car crash, and in CGI form his body starts splitting apart and stuff. Now that, and now what we're going to have Rel's death scene, because Rel hasn't put his blood on the bad guy. Rel has had visions of this kind of machinery, hasn't he?
At the steel mill,
which he's going to get crushed in. So now he's dying, and then obviously we don't see the steel mill. We just see Rel and his CGI arms spurting blood and disappearing. His death and Dean's death are clearly supposed to be the two set pieces of the film. They could have been good somewhere in a different film, but because this film is so inept, it's just whatever, isn't it? It doesn't matter.
Well, it helps,
it has no effect.
When you care about the person being
it's
mutilated,
so weightless,
doesn't it? So
and the film is already completely neutered. So when you try and show this hardcore stuff, it's like the director himself. Oh, I have directed Ollie Murs, but I'm hardcore. I do like Iron Maiden as well. Prick. Now that they fucked up Rel's life, it's time for lesbian planning montage. Do you remember the montage with the lesbians and they're planning what they're going to do? They're gathering all of their apparatus to fight Enochia, whatever it was called.
No, that was
the demon
it.
from the whistle.
Because they're like, oh, is written in the Revenger. It's in the
Revenger.
Says something about you only die once, and now we get the other Final Destination thing of you can trick death by dying and then come back to life.
You just remind me actually by just mentioning Final Destination again. I'm not even going by the first one anymore. I'm now going by the latest one, which was Bloodlines, right? And there is literally a scene in that, I think they're brothers or best friends, where one of the best friends is a drug addict and he gets him to overdose in the hospital so that they can bring him back. And in this, because Chris is a former juvenile junkie...
It's actually because he's got a peanut allergy, but yeah, basically
is that what
the same
it was?
thing, yeah.
They do the same thing in this. They've just stolen from a movie from 2025, verbatim.
Yeah, but even, Final Destination has had that way previously, when the woman, drowns herself to escape death.
No, but I'm talking specific about overdosing.
Yeah.
They've stolen that. They've already stolen the Final Destination anyway, but now they're stealing specific things from the fucking 6th installment of it, by the way.
Because Elle is a diabetic, so she's got all her, insulin.
Edgy.
And she works in a hospital, so, she obviously knows how to get a heart started again or something. How they've gotten hold of this ECG, thingy, though, in the middle of this steel mill, I don't know.
I love during the montage that Chris just turns around with it. Here's a giant defibrillator that we've got in this cavernous warehouse. So then Elle puts Chris into a comatose situation where she's OD'd, and they do that cliche thing where Chris falls into water underground. It's going all slow. While Elle's trying to bring her back, Noah shows up and he's trying to break through the door with a gun and stuff like that.
Yeah, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why? These people are mental, and he's like, oh, let me just keep getting involved. It's like, just run away, mate.
He shoots the defibrillator. What are they going to do now? Wait a minute. Say the magic word. Chrysanthemum. All of a sudden, Chris wakes up in this pool. Her eyes open again because she's been dragged under by a demon. And now we hear the gypsy wisdom. It's like we hear wisdom from which is previously said in the movie. Dying isn't a choice, but living. That is up to you. And then, Chris is alive because she remembers the gypsy's wisdom / cancer sufferer / Haas's mum. And she's heard her name being said, Chrysanthemum.
But in the
it brings her
meantime,
back.
Noah's also shot Elle. So she's like on death's door, blood is pooling everywhere. Can I just mention quickly as well, you mentioned, somehow they got this heart starter out of nowhere on the steel mill. Do you know another thing that's really common in steel mills? Mm-hmm. Ice cubes. They fill the whole tub full of ice cubes.
And none of it's melted.
It's in a steel mill. So
well, like I said, we're on the cutting edge. We're taking horror where it's never been before.
It's great.
Thank you, guys.
But now, what's she going to do? The heart starter thing is broken. Elle's been shot. Noah's still there with a gun. But Noah's like, oh, look, there's some blood. Let me just pick that up. And then
yeah, he's done himself in, hasn't he?
Death goes for Noah. So Noah dies anyway.
He then sees his dead self coming towards him. So he starts shooting, and as he shoots it, he's actually getting bullet wounds in himself, isn't he? Yeah. So he's a dumbass Christian. Well,
also, do you think then that basically Chris was like, no, Rel, your life isn't worth Noah's death. But Elle, yeah, go ahead, Noah, now you can die.
This is lefty lesbian logic now, I think. Let's get rid of another man. Get rid of all the men, so that we can all just let off. We're then treated to more cliche dialogue, because now Noah is dead, and they've really been through it in this past 24 hours, Elle and Chris. They've only just met pretty much. When Chris comes to, Elle's like, hell of a first date, huh? Yeah, but, get it? It's relief. Oh, we can come down from the tension that was this movie Whistle. And they're both like, I can't live without you. I can't live without you. They've met each other yesterday.
Hell of a first date. Let's just gloss over the fact that all of our friends and cousin and stuff are all dead.
Never mind though, because it's 3 months later.
We survived though, so that's what's
3 months
important.
later, and Chris is walking through the school corridors with a new cool goth bob thing. Is that what it is? Either way, she looks fucking shit in this as well. It's like she might be a pretty girl. I don't know, because they fucked up her hair so bad and her wardrobe, just like they do in all new movies.
Well, right? She's not there for you to objectify, Johnny, so...
Yeah. As she's walking through the corridors alone, like everyone's walking past her in slow motion, and we hear her thoughts. She says, I always thought death was the enemy. Now I'm not so sure. Nothing lasts forever. But we have right now. I think I can live with that. And then Elle comes out of nowhere and snogs her in the corridor. They hold hands and ooh! Elle's got a matching pot leaf tattoo, which her mum wouldn't let her get. But now she's like, to hell with you, mum. I'm in a lesbian relationship and we're going to do what we want. This is Hollywood. And they walk off into happier times, but then you got to keep your eye on this Asian girl. She's walking to her locker. She opens the locker. It's the Whistle. Finn. But wait, would you like an Easter egg?
No.
There's an Easter egg. And the Asian girl, now once again, lefties being morons, not knowing what they're doing, they call out everything for being racist, didn't they? This is an Asian girl, and she's been introduced to the school, and she's going to show off her talent. Her talent happens to be playing a classical instrument, the violin. She's going to play the school's anthem on the violin. Oh, Asian chick, Asian student, what are they good at? Maths and violin. Are they remotely self-aware? Because this is about as stereotypical as you can get. Now, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the uber lefties in Hollywood being like, oh, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's stereotypical, that's cliche, but then just do it when it fucking suits them, it seems. Or they just don't have the brains to realise that this is what they're doing to everyone else, and they have complete double standards. I wish someone would just bomb Hollywood and start it again. Because
but they
it's all
they haven't gone with the stereotype of the Asian being smart, because she's
No,
there.
they haven't.
She's there, as you said, to play the school anthem on a violin, but instead she's like, oh, I just found this random whistle thing that I don't know if it works or what it does, but if it does, it will make one sound. Let me just stand in front of the whole school and just blow this damn whistle.
Seriously, what was this? Because why would a new girl in school just found a whistle just come out and blow that?
He's so stupid. But of course, this, you know, they have to do it because now that the whole school is going to die soon.
Yeah, and we see, you know, Chris with her new hair, like, no, don't do it. So really, the Asian girl is the hero of this film, isn't she? Because she's going to kill everybody. Thank God. Thank God. And you know what? Corin Hardy, Owen Egerton, you will be metaphorically bent over in Heathen. And you fucking deserve it. Before we get into number one, right, you just called me out for, you know, saying the word pussy a lot.
Yeah.
And getting a bit pent up. Well, remember last week I was like, I did 4 hours meditation before we did the review.
Did you? Oh, right. Yeah, okay,
This week I've done no meditation. Like zilch, zippo, nada. I'm completely sober.
So I need to drug you up, basically.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, I say what I feel anyway, but it's just, yeah, I wake up with this passion. I call it joy. I've got the joy of life, right? And talking of dipshit directors, like the last movie, we are back to another dipshit director. His name is Jeff Wadlow. He directed Imaginary. Remember Imaginary, the little bear? What a piece of shit. What a dipshit this guy is. So Devil's Mouth, brought to you by Amazon. Oh my god, what a mark of quality in the film arena, right? Jeff Bezos.
I think
Jeff Wadlow.
like the most shit movies in one genre type has to be shark movies, because I keep making you watch them because I love shark movies, but almost all of them are atrocious.
The reason we love shark movies is simple. 2 movies, Jaws and Deep Blue Sea. And once again, Devil's Mouth just proves how hard it really is to make a good shark movie. Because no one can do it. We've seen a lot of them. Nobody can do it. Devil's Mouth is not good. Not a good title, is it? The Devil's Mouth. So,
I mean, that was probably one of the best things about this film.
yeah, well, because there's nothing else good. Once again, we've got a bunch of Gen Z morons on a boat. I'm sure somewhere, some Gen Z people are absolutely fine. It's not being beamed to us through media, though, is it? It's really not. We've got James and Greg, right? 2 lads. Then we've got the Asian girl boss, Max, who's in charge of socials at her daddy's company. And she is friends with the blonde Sarah. And they're going to make it to LA together, even though Sarah apparently wants to go to New York, not to LA. But Max is like, come on, you gotta totally come to LA and do the socials, because I'm gonna be the CEO soon and we'll be running this shit. I could have played her.
Max is an absolute bloody nightmare.
What a cunt.
And also, like, when they're at the beginning, you know, they're trying to charter some boat that they hadn't pre-booked or anything. And we don't get to see her work her magic, but apparently Max is magical and she always gets her way. So they do end up with the boat. But I was like, so this Asian girl's gone to the dude who runs it and is like, come on, I promise you'll have a really good time. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, all right then.
Just another person that I would have clumped around the back of the head.
She was so annoying.
Yeah, before she and the blonde can run off to LA and do socials, they're going to leave the blonde in the water while the boat drives off. And while the boat is driving off in Thailand, all of a sudden a bunch of jellyfish come out of nowhere and they start stinging the blonde Sarah. And it takes a while for the Gen Z morons on the boat to be like, wait,
Where's Sarah?
There's only 4 of us and one of us is missing. Oh my god, we gotta go back. And they get back.
No, but you've missed someone because there were 5 of them. There were 3 girls and 2 guys.
3 girls?
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll mention her in a second.
There were 3 girls because the one girl, who not the Asian girl, goes to the toilet and when she comes back, she's like, wait, where's the other girl?
You are correct. The other one is, I've called her name is Adrian. She's a bit of a slut. Because she's going out with one of the lads, not James, Greg.
And Max is going out with the other guy.
James, yeah.
So then the other girl is just like fifth wheeling.
The blonde Sarah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I also was thinking at this point, because the reason that they're just like, oh, Sarah, where's Sarah? Like, they're playing drinking games. So they're getting squiffy on this boat, so they can't keep an eye on who's
But the thing
where.
is, it's broad daylight. The sun is shining. You're going to be able to see that you've left her behind
and
in
also,
the
Max
sea.
is supposed to be like her best friend, and she's just like, I don't know where she is.
Yeah,
But my point, the reason I bring this up is because I was like, the guy who runs this place, they're in Thailand, aren't they? And the guy who runs this boat business, probably every single customer he gets is exactly like this group, just annoying Gen Zs wanting to do like Instagram or TikToks of their boat drinking escapades. And the fact that Max was like, oh my god, you're gonna have such a fun time, he's probably there just like,
shoot me in the fucking head. Yeah, so after she's been bitten by a bunch of jellyfish, she is rescued. But as we know what girls are like, they're very passive aggressive, even though they're besties and stuff. So that evening at dinner, there's drama. There's drama at the beach dinner, and James is like, God damn it, can't we just have like one nice meal? I guess not. And then he walks off in a huff like a big pussy. Drama over dinner. Sarah blaming Max and James. Yeah, the besties. Sarah has been bitten by the jellyfish. She's been like totally passive aggressive to Max, isn't she? At dinner. But they managed to resolve it at dinner. They're going to become besties again. And the drama blows over. So now it's time to go to the caves of paradise. Adrian, who's going out with Greg, she notices Ryan, a diver. And she's like, oh my God, he is so hot. And one of the girls like calls her out. It's like, but you're going out with Greg. And she's like, yeah, he's fine for right now. But I need to experience a lot more. So she's just looking for more dick. Because she's a Gen Z, she's right on. You know, women can just take as many dicks as they want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We also find out really early on in this bit that it's the blonde Hannah, did you say her name was? Sarah is the one who's like instigated this whole trip because
She paid for it, right?
well, apparently she paid for it as well. So, damn, nice
That's
to have a friend like
just
Sarah.
dropped into the dialogue, isn't it? But again,
Yeah.
isn't she supposed to be a student?
Yeah, I mean, none of them are.
Again, how are they affording this boat? I guess they just got all rich daddies, right? I mean, we know Max has because her daddy's got a company that she runs socials for.
Yeah, with celebrities. But
Oh my God!
but Sarah, so it seems that Sarah's dad has passed away. But before he
Probably
passed
committed
away,
suicide.
he was here in Thailand and he went to these caves and said it was so great. And so she wants to do this trip to feel close to her daddy.
Okay. When they get to the caves, they've got a Thai guide. I've forgotten his name, but they've got a Thai guide. They have planned to go, let's just call it the green route, the easy route, the less treacherous route. But there's also a red route, and we're only, let's just say we're a week away from the red route being completely no-go because of the season or something like
And
that.
apparently a lot of it's already underwater because there's been early rains.
So, of course, Max, the girl boss, is like, oh, we totally gotta do the red route. And Thai guide is like, no, stay away from it. And she's like, hi, you haven't met me. I'm CEO of Fun. Just fucking kill me.
God, she was so annoying.
In a world of annoying Gen Z characters in movies, she's just taking the cake, isn't she?
I wasn't sure whether they wanted us to hate her or not.
No, I don't think they ever do. But that's how moronic lefties are.
But the other thing that was really annoying is that we definitely aren't supposed to hate Sarah. We're supposed to sympathise with Sarah, but she's such a fucking pussy. Hey, I added to the tally now.
Yeah.
She's a wet blanket because, I mean, everyone knows, the guide knows, Sarah knows, probably the rest of the party know, it's not a good idea. The guide is trying to warn you off doing this red route. And just because Max is like, oh my God, come on, I really want to do the red route. Let's do the red route. And then Sarah's just like, yeah, all right.
The problem here is Max has clearly been an annoying cunt her whole life, so they're just tired of telling her no. So they just kind of like go along with it. Now, let's get back to lefty Hollywood double standards, right? We've got the Thai guide. Yeah, the guy is going to take him on this expedition. Lefties, I've had a go at Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi before, saying that it's stereotyping, right, Mr. Miyagi. Yet, here is Thai guide, and he speak like Mr. Miyagi because he miss a word out of sentences like Mr. Miyagi. He no speak full English. What is this? How can they moan about it and then just do it. And by the way, with Mr. Miyagi, you can kind of tell that he might actually speak like this guy. Clearly is an American. He clearly speaks like perfect English, but they just got him talking like we should not be doing a dish. What are they doing? Jeff Dipshit Ludlow and whoever wrote this, Jeff Bezos probably. He's in the CEO. He's in the writers' room, and Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, of course he is.
So yeah, just more stereotypical bullshit. Which, if it was done by, God forbid, a conservative director, they would just have given it 1 star because of that.
But again,
but they're allowed.
just the character of the guide as well.
Isn't this racist?
If it's dangerous to
In
go on the
today's
red route,
standards?
just don't go the red route.
Just go the red route, yeah. But whatever. Wax on, wax off. What I say. So now Greg's one going out of Adrian's slut, and he's also he's like the comic relief. So there's something swimming under the caves. Turns out it's just an eel. So Mr. Miyagi tells them, it's just eel. Eel can look like many things. Greg's like, eels can look like many things. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? He's talking about cock.
But also, this was so stupid, because I'm pretty sure Sarah's like, I just saw an eel, and I think you're mistaken. I think the guide is like, no, there are no eels in this place. There are other things that could look like whatever.
Well, you get it.
But my point is, again, it's a cave system, so he's like, yeah, there's nothing dangerous in here. But the fact that it's always getting flooded, I'm like, well,
flooding's not dangerous.
It's pretty obvious that stuff could be washed in there. Why are you just like so nonchalant about this?
Yeah. Anyway, they decide they're going to go the red route, so they get into the caves. And once they get into the caves, we just can't see anything. Because I like darkly lit scene stuff, but not where I just can't see anything. I can't see... My overriding feeling is the CGI shark is so bad. I mean, at one point, it swims backwards. Everyone knows if a shark swims backwards, it suffocates, it dies. And yet here is this CGI bull shark doing this. You can barely see the shark. Anyway, Adrian, she bumps her head as they're like moving along. Right? And Mr. Miyagi says, we get injury, we go back. But they all ignore it. It's like, we're not going to go back because we've got our saying. I am safe. I am special. I am me. Say it. I am safe. I am special. I am me. Yeah, that's going to protect him from the bull shark on the red route, innit? What the fuck was this, Jeff Wadlow, you dipshit?
It was pretty painful.
It was painful. And now, because they've not gone home with Adrian's head injury, they come to the magic, swirly, luminous water. So we're like, wow, cool. Look at this luminous, shiny water. And Greg's like, look at me. I'm Harry Potter. Why is he Harry Potter?
Yeah, I was going to say you have no idea because you've never seen it. To be fair, I don't really know what he's on about either.
What's he going on? Is it because it's like the wand zapping?
Maybe the Patronus spell, but I don't know. A wand? There was no wand in this water.
Yeah, but I imagine that when they zap their wands, like luminous colours come out of it, like they're doing in the water. They're making waves so that luminous water comes. Look at me, I'm Harry Potter.
So dumb.
Why would he say that otherwise? Anyway, the Thai, he swims off. He gets lost, doesn't he? Because the gang start getting bashed about by the bull shark against the rocks.
What? You skipped way ahead.
Yeah, because there's nothing worth saying. What did you want to say?
Well, actually, there was one more bit I was going to say. They get to a cave and everyone's like, ew, what is that smell? And it turns out this cave is just filled with dead, decaying corpses of fish and birds and everything.
Humans?
No. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. But I get to this point in the cave system, I'm turning around and going back. There is no way in hell I am swimming through corpses.
Well, I'm just not going the red route in the first place. I don't give a shit what Max Gelboss has said. Fucking moron.
It was also really confusing because they're always shown like standing, walking, wading.
Yeah.
And yet every time they look down, this diver that we mentioned, who's Australian by the way, of course he is, he's always like miles below and I don't see anywhere to stand. So I'm like...
Yeah, the lone guy, I think his name is Ryan, that Adrian fancies, is an Aussie. Because as you all know, Aussies get all about, don't they, doing adventurous stuff.
You have to have an Aussie in a shark movie.
So, as I said, so now, as I was saying, the bull sharks are bashing them about. It's too dark to really see what's going on, but everyone's getting bashed about in this narrow cave system. They get separated from the Thai Mr. Miyagi, right? They hope that the Thai Mr. Miyagi's gone for help, because they're all fucked now. Because once the Thai is alone, Adrian gets eaten. That's what she gets for being a slut. Saying that she wants multiple cocks. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed. Not in a shark movie. Not going to kill the virgin, are they? And that'll teach them, won't it? They've been separated from the Thai. Rule number 1 is always keep your stereotypes close when you're in a foreign land. Otherwise, you don't know what could happen.
Well, I mean, it was really stupid because he is obviously saying... So, by now, only the diver is being killed and Sarah's notices because she keeps looking down for him and he keeps flashing his light. And this time when she looks down, she just sees red blood, so she knows that something's gone wrong. And they're like, oh my god, it's a shark. And the guide is like, well, you know, there's no good just staying here. We've got to leave now. But the rest of them are like, no. No.
You know,
so they all hang around on bits of rock and only he goes. But also, I hate it in these movies when the danger is in the water and you've got rock that goes plenty out and yet they decide to sit right on the bottom bit with like their feet dangling in and stuff. I'm like, why would you do that?
yeah, and before they all decided to jump in the water and stuff,
Yeah.
I think it's Sarah's idea, possibly, or one of the others. Basically, it's just not Max's idea. They say we should just stay on this rock like we've heard before, and someone will come and get us. It's like Max is like, no, let's get into the water. And for some reason, everyone listens to her again. Let me know if I'm skipping ahead too much, because in my opinion, nothing really happens except for
Sarah's
dark cave stuff.
Got a waterproof map of the cave system, by the way, and she's
That's
like,
lucky.
yeah,
Do you like all the names of the places in the like Dead Man's Cove?
Yeah, and that we
Blackbeard's
see a
Beard.
nice little like thing of this is the cave they're in now.
Yeah.
But again, I was like, I mean, they've been through like what 4 caves or something. Like it can't be that hard to find your way back.
No, it's not. And
But
the caves
also
are
they
small.
kept being like, oh, let's keep going forward. I was like, why don't you just come back the way you've come in?
Yeah.
When you know it's like, okay, there are some dead corpses I wouldn't have gone through anyway, but like at least you know that way is safe. And Sarah is saying, oh, there's like a hole up in the wall somewhere. If we get out that way, we can escape this cave system. Whereas Max is like, no, we need to go to the maze bit and hope that it's too skinny for the shark to get through. And they end up going with Max's suggestion.
Right. And the next bit I've got is, you know, James, who's going out with Max. They're standing on the rock with blonde Sarah, and Max is trying to like, socials again. And James is like, I've fucking had enough of you, you're so annoying. That's her boyfriend. Even he's annoyed, and she's like, well, you won't have to deal with me anymore. And she jumps into the water, but then he just goes after her.
That's such a toddler reaction.
And then they're all in the water again.
Yes.
Including Sarah. And now I've written, there's just lots of holding your breath. And there's lots of like, hey, if we don't make it, no, don't even talk like that. And you know, James's tales of regret. You know, oh my God, my parents, they wanted me to become something, and I'm just going to die in this cave here having accomplished nothing. Stuff like this. And you know, this has got a 1 hour 47 minute runtime. You could have cut at least 22 minutes. Make it an hour and 25 minutes.
I just realised another thing that makes Max a bitch, which was that obviously the day before they go to this cave system, we mentioned that Sarah got attacked by all these jellyfish. And she's got like scarring from it all over her, and she's clearly suffering. Like she's like shaky, and she's the only one who takes like a life vest and stuff. I was like, so Max, you're the reason you ditched your friend to get attacked by jellyfish, and now you're forcing her to go the difficult route.
Yeah.
How thoughtless.
Yeah, just give her a slap. So once again, you know, this is a shark film with no tension in the shark scenes. Zero tension, zero energy, no energy in general.
It was so stupid. So they're like, they're excusing the behaviour of this fake shark by being like, oh, it's a bull shark and it's territorial and this and that. But I'm sorry, I don't think it's realistic that a shark will smash itself repeatedly into a rock wall to try and bash you down.
Maybe a hammerhead.
Things like this. I mean, it was ridiculous. The things this shark was doing. It was so stupid.
You can fit it in here because I don't remember the time Mr. Miyagi copping it. How does he die when he's alone?
Yeah, he just gets got. It is shown, but I was getting, because it's so dark, you're not always sure who you're watching currently once they've split up. But I do remember he does get got, and they hear him screaming, so they're like, oh well, there goes our plan of him going free and helping us. Yeah. So they do need to do something.
I could imagine the bull shark's just recently eaten 2 white people, and they're probably under seasoned. Needs something a little bit spicier, so he goes for the Thai guide. Can't blame him. The next bit I remember, after the Thai takeaway, is the gang are swimming, you know, holding their breath again. And it's a shark movie, and yet they've killed James by just having him get stuck in some rocks. And he's stuck in the rocks, and he's talking to Max, who's like, believe me here. It's so stupid. And he's like, I wub woo. And then Sarah grabs Max to get him away, and he just like runs out of breath, and he's dead. That was an emotional scene, wasn't it? And now we just get loads of just girl boss crying. Shut up!
Yeah, his death just being crushed by a rock was really underwhelming. But also, like, they have this whole scene just before he gets crushed where they're going through like a tunnely bit that's adjacent to another tunnely bit, and there's little gaps, and the shark keeps trying to get through the gaps, but the gaps aren't big enough, so you just get a shark going. And the whole time, like, first of all, if the like tunnel is this wide and the shark's on this side, why would you swim right there? Because then every time you're like, oh, my arm, he almost got my arm.
Well,
and then also, I'm pretty sure, because she brought like a shit ton of supplies, Sarah, including a waterproof map. She
sounds like you, actually.
She's got like a knife with her as well, and I was like, I mean, maybe use it.
Yeah, use the fucking knife
when the shark is caught.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
So,
and actually, wait, we've already skipped over another bit that really pissed me off as well. Then, because this is before Max's boyfriend dies.
James drowning. Yeah.
The three of them, Max, Sarah, and James, are crawling, and they see sunlight at the end of this tunnel. So we're like, well, we don't actually think they're going to get out because the movie's not far enough in. But like, we're like, oh look, freedom.
Just get out.
And then a part of the tunnel like caves in, and Max is dangling, and eventually falls down into the water. Now the other two just decide, well, we're all in this together, screw the daylight, we're just going to jump into the water with you and all get shark eaten again. And then later, we find out Sarah's had rope in her bag this whole time.
Yeah, lots of rope.
She could have literally just been like, right, you're falling down, but the exit's right there, let me just put some rope down, we'll drag you back up and carry on our merry way.
So they all deserve to die then, didn't they? They all just deserve to die.
Unbelievable.
Look, Sarah and the girl boss are crying a lot. One of them shoots a flare down the shark's mouth, because of course a shark has to get shot with a flare, doesn't it, ever since Jaws. So someone shoots with a flare. Max is now crying constantly. She has not got the true heart of a girl boss, has she? She's in tears the whole time. It's Sarah. She's the real Gen Z girl boss. Gen Z in a mini, right? And this is the other thing, didn't they? They're always like, to the stars, or something like that, or until the stars burn out, it's you and me. So now it's been accepted that Sarah is the true girl boss, not Max. Sarah's like, you've got to do something that you've never done before. Max is like, what? Trust me.
Were you buying this?
Oh yeah,
buying her
absolutely.
bravery,
Yeah, I
her
am
ability.
woman. Hear me roar.
And also, Max is injured, like, oh, she's got a gammy arm or something, so she can't do very much. So Sarah's like, look, that hole I was talking about ages ago that you poo-pooed, it's over there. You stick on this rock, I'm going to climb out, and hopefully I'll find us a way out, or I'll go and get help, right? That's when she's like, you need to trust me. So now we see that Sarah is a very accomplished rock climber. And she gets to the hole.
Imagine how slippy and damp that's got to be as well.
Oh god, yeah, and like she was. I mean, she could be leading trails at this rate.
She's doing it at a pace as well.
Yeah,
like Spider-Man.
She's
a girl boss.
She
So
gets to the top and she looks down and realizes, well, not much of an escape here, because if I jump, then I'm just going to land in rocks.
Yeah, whatever. So after this, right, Max is still crying. Max is so useless that Sarah uses the rope to tether herself to Sarah. So that Sarah's like a toddler. I mean, sorry, Max is like a toddler at this point. And they decide then, Sarah's like, right, I'm going to climb where I've just climbed. You're going to be behind me on the rope. Then it's your turn. But as Max starts climbing, thankfully, the bull shark comes and eats her. That's the end of her. Hurrah!
Yeah, but it was that dumb thing as well where Sam's like, oh my god, we're gonna make it. I was like, wow, that's never seen that before.
Talking of dumb, it's only Sarah left now, the original girl boss. You know, she has always been the girl boss, not Max. So, what does she do? She baits the shark. She stands on a little ledge and she says stuff like, come and get it! dinner time. Of course, the shark's listening to it, being baited. So he gets mad and it swims backwards. And then it starts to swim forward. It's going to jump out the water and it's going to eat Sarah. But no, Sarah ducks. And the dumbass bull shark hits its head in the rocks. And it dies. Sarah manages to climb up to the hole again. And she looks out of the hole onto Thailand. And it's much like Stretch at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. She's like... girl bossing. I mean, our buyer is that. Why is every Gen Z girl boss just an insufferable twat?
Yeah, there's no Ripleys.
There's no Nev Campbells. There's no Ripleys. Yeah.
They're just annoying.
No. Yeah, absolutely terrible. And how hard is it to make a fucking movie about a shark killing people in a cave in Thailand? You can make the movie look good because you're in Thailand. You can make the movie gory and tense because you got a shark. You can also have something called character development if your hour and 47-minute movie runs for that long.
Excuse me, Johnny, but Sarah went from being the put-down little twerp to being the proper boss. So
yeah,
that's
do you know what? Can anyone in this even act even, or was it once again the script? Because Max was just diabolical. Do you also know that all these people are like close to 30 years old when they film this? They're not young, they're like 29. So it's not like you can blame it on the inexperience of youth as the failure to get a good character across. It's the same thing as Whistle, just one-dimensional characters, and they can't do it. They don't have the brain power to do it. And most actors are thick. They really are. And if you, this is the perfect trifecta to watch together to show truly how far horror has fallen. It's just off a cliff edge, and it doesn't seem like it's going to come back anytime soon until Heathen is produced.
Was there a single likable character in any one of these movies?
Not one. Not one. Maybe people will just like Nick Frost, the teacher, because they like Nick Frost, possibly. But apart from that, no, I'm really struggling. And all you find these movies easily if you've got Jeff Bezos' streaming service. All 3 movies are in the top 10 because there's just nothing else to watch, is there? Yeah, dipshit Ludlow and that cunt from Whistle. Fuck 'em all. Pussy.